Number 1. Surprising facts about Japan. Japan is known worldwide as the land of the rising sun, but on the global time map, it's not the first place to see the morning light. That position belongs to Kiribati, an island nation located near the international date line where the new day begins earliest on the planet. Nevertheless, for thousands of years, the Japanese have clearly defined their position in the far east of Asia, where the sun always appears before China and the Korean peninsula. This awareness gave rise to the name Nihon, or Nippon, meaning origin of the sun. This name was officially recognized in the 7th century, in the context of Japan's proactive separation from the Chinese tributary system to assert its sovereignty and cultural identity. In terms of territorial structure, Japan is a chain of islands stretching nearly 3,000 kilometers from north to south, comprising more than 6,800 islands with an area of approximately 380,000 square kilometers. The 4 main islands of Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku account for 97% of the country's land area and are home to the majority of the population. This island chain spans various latitudes, resulting in a wide range of climates, from snow-capped Hokkaido to subtropical Okinawa, creating a rare ecological diversity for a country of relatively small size. Located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Japan faces approximately 1,500 earthquakes of varying magnitudes each year. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake, measuring over 9 on the Richter scale, triggered tsunamis up to 40 meters high and caused the Fukushima nuclear disaster. Over 20,000 people died, hundreds of thousands were displaced for extended periods, and economic losses were estimated at around $360 billion. This is considered the most economically damaging natural disaster in modern history, far surpassing many previous financial crises. Japan currently has a population of approximately 125 million, ranking 11th in the world, with the Tokyo metropolitan area alone exceeding 41 million. However, behind this enormous urban scale lies a quiet but serious problem. Nearly 30% of the population is over 65 years old, while the birth rate continues to decline. According to data from the Japan Pet Food Association, the number of pet dogs and cats in the country is around 20 million. More than the number of children under 15, which is only about 17 million, clearly reflecting the shortage of the younger generation. In many neighborhoods of Tokyo, the sight of elderly people walking their pets has become a familiar part of urban life. Interestingly, the land of the rising sun is not where the sun first appeared. Does this detail make you see Japan in a different light? Leave a comment with the number 1. Number 2. Japanese people live behind masks. The Japanese have long been considered symbols of politeness and refined communication. However, the friendly feeling that tourists often perceive in Japan is primarily confined to social settings. A slight smile, a bow, or a formal greeting doesn't necessarily reflect genuine emotion. For newcomers, distinguishing between tatame, the formal act, and han, the true inner thoughts, often takes time and experience. In daily life, the Japanese prioritize quiet and discretion. They move softly, avoid making noise, and rarely initiate conversations with neighbors. Even within families, expressing emotions directly or saying, "I love you," is uncommon. A 2023 survey by the National Institute of Population Studies in Japan showed that over 45% of adults admitted to feeling disconnected from their relatives. Children are taught independence from an early age, and upon reaching adulthood, they often leave home to study, work, and build their own lives. Multi-generational family living together is becoming increasingly rare in large cities, where living space is limited and the pace of life is fast. The most noticeable consequence is the increasing number of elderly people living alone. Many spend their final years in small apartments with little social interaction. In some cases, neighbors only discover their deaths after they have passed away. This phenomenon is called kodakushi, meaning dying in solitude, with over 30,000 cases each year. In some cities, local authorities have to deploy regular inspection teams and warning systems to detect cases of isolated living early, showing that this is no longer a personal issue but has become a social problem. In Japan, privacy is protected almost absolutely. Each person has very clear boundaries, even between spouses or parents and children. This helps society function orderly and reduces conflict, but at the same time, it makes relationships more distant. On weekends, families and groups of friends still gather in parks to eat and drink, but loud laughter or noise is rare. Even in public spaces, silence is seen as a sign of respect for others, not a sign of coldness. A characteristic of Japanese culture is that doing the right thing is not for praise, but because it is a duty. Bowing, helping others, or cleaning up public places stems from a sense of responsibility to the community, not from personal feelings. Therefore, some foreigners may find Japanese people somewhat distant or lacking in warmth. In reality, in Japanese society, kindness doesn't need to be expressed emotionally, but simply through proper conduct. Number 3. How the Japanese Empire was formed. During World War II, Japan stood alongside Germany and Italy in the Axis powers, but its defeat at the hands of the Allies had devastating consequences. By the end of the war, approximately 40% of its cities had been leveled, over 3 million people had died, and industrial output had fallen to nearly 10% of its pre-war levels. Inflation surged 70-fold in 3 years, causing severe devaluation of the currency. Japan had virtually no goods left to export, and its economy was paralyzed. From that ruin, Japan embarked on a remarkable reconstruction process. Between 1955 and 1980, the economy achieved an average growth rate of over 9% per year, known as the Miracle Growth Period. Under the leadership of Prime Ministers Shigeru Yoshida and Eisaku Sato, Japan focused on heavy industry, exports, and technology. Japan's strategy of prioritizing the production of high-quality goods at competitive prices helped it quickly dominate the US and European markets, transforming the country into the industrial hub of Asia. In just about 3 decades, Japan rose to become the world's second-largest economy, after the United States. Corporations like Toyota, Sony, Toshiba, and Mitsubishi became global icons. In the late 1980s, real estate prices in Tokyo skyrocketed, with the city center once valued at the equivalent of the entire state of California. Today, Japan is the world's 4th largest economy, behind only the US, China, and Germany, with one of the highest standards of living in Asia. Besides traditional industries, Japan also boasts an adult entertainment industry worth over $25 billion annually, accounting for approximately 20% of global revenue. The Japanese government did not directly ban this sector and once hoped it could positively impact its record-low birth rate of around 1.2 children per woman. However, demographic data shows that birth rates continue to decline, suggesting that deeper economic and cultural factors are the primary cause, rather than indirect measures. Alongside its economic strength, Japan is also a global cultural powerhouse. Anime currently accounts for approximately 60% of all animated films produced worldwide, generating over $25 billion in revenue annually. Works like Naruto, Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Demon Slayer are not only widely consumed, but also shape the fashion, language, and lifestyles of young people in many countries. This influence is so strong that anime terminology and actions have been incorporated into real life, exemplified by the Naruto Run phenomenon, which spread widely during the Storm Area 51 event in the US in 2019. Number 4. Little-known facts about Japanese women. Japanese women have long been associated with an image of refinement and elegance. Their fair skin, petite figures, modest clothing, and gentle demeanor create a very distinctive impression. From Tokyo to Kyoto, they often appear with soft voices, gentle eyes, and minimalist, elegant fashion styles. Even as society becomes increasingly modern, the kimono still holds a special place as a symbol of femininity and tradition. Recently, social media platform X witnessed a rare viral phenomenon. A photo of Sayori Araki in office attire, with just a simple puffed-up cheek expression, garnered 76 million views in a week. Her follower count increased by over 120,000, and the media dubbed her the kawaii phenomenon of 2025. Remarkably, the photo was not heavily edited or suggestive, yet it captivated the public thanks to its naturalness, reflecting the unique aesthetic taste of Japanese society. Looking back at history, beauty standards in Japan were very different from today. During the Edo period, women did not bathe daily because they believed that frequent bathing stripped away the natural protective oils from their skin and hair. Documents recorded the use of rice flour, camellia oil, and warm water to cleanse the body instead of soap. Some ukiyo-e woodblock prints even depicted women with armpit hair as a normal part of beauty, something once considered natural and not offensive. With the introduction of Western lifestyles, standards regarding scent, smooth skin, and personal hygiene gradually changed. Western influence not only affected appearance, but also changed how Japanese women viewed life. Today, single women over 30 with stable careers and independent lives are common in major cities like Tokyo and Osaka. They no longer see marriage as a mandatory goal, but instead focus on self-development, learning foreign languages, traveling, and achieving financial independence. According to Japanese labor statistics, the percentage of women participating in the full-time workforce has increased sharply in the last 2 decades, contributing to a shift in the traditional family structure. Simultaneously, the number of Japanese women marrying foreigners has also steadily increased year by year. The main reason stems from differences in how emotions are expressed. While Japanese men tend to be reserved and less expressive of their feelings, Western men are more direct and explicit in their expressions of affection. According to the Japanese Ministry of Justice, more than 300,000 Japanese women register to marry foreigners each year. In Tokyo, several districts have implemented international marriage counseling services to support Japanese women in multicultural relationships, indicating that this trend is gradually becoming a part of urban life. If you're curious to learn more about how to meet or impress these women, leave a comment with the number 4. Number 5. Taboos in Japan. In Japan, physical contact is not considered a sign of friendliness. Actions like hugging, kissing on the cheek, or shaking hands, which are common in the West, are often seen as crossing personal boundaries. Japanese people rarely touch others, especially on first encounters, as they value humility and respect for personal space. Instead, they bow to greet. The depth and duration of the bow are not random but clearly reflect the level of respect, gratitude, or apology. In a business setting, a bow that is not deep enough or at the wrong time can be considered impolite, so foreigners are often advised to observe and follow the rules before initiating a handshake. Silence also plays a crucial role in public communication. On subways and buses, Japanese people maintain almost absolute silence. Phone calls, loud laughter, or lively conversations are easily considered offensive. Train companies frequently announce reminders for passengers to put their phones on silent mode and avoid talking. On some train routes during peak hours, listening to music without headphones is considered inconsiderate, a practice that many Western tourists find unusual compared to their own habits. In culinary culture, etiquette is paramount. Sticking chopsticks upright into a bowl of rice is taboo as it evokes the ritual of offering to the deceased. Some traditional restaurants will gently remind customers if they accidentally violate this rule. When not in use, chopsticks should be placed neatly on a chopstick rest or parallel to the bowl. These small details are seen as expressions of respect for the meal and those at the table, not just formalities. Another etiquette that clearly demonstrates a sense of community is not pouring one's own drink. During meals, Japanese people usually pour for the person opposite them first, before being poured for in return. This action shows consideration and connection. In business dinners, pouring for oneself first might be interpreted as a lack of integration, even if no one says it directly. Furthermore, tattoos remain a sensitive topic in Japanese society. Even small or artistic designs are often associated with the Yakuza. Therefore, many onsens, gyms, and public swimming pools refuse service to customers with tattoos. While some modern establishments allow tattoo covers, visitors are generally advised to keep their tattoos covered to avoid trouble or misunderstandings in their daily lives. Number 6. The other side of Japanese power. In Asian history, Japan is almost a unique case, having never been completely colonized by a foreign power. For centuries, the country maintained a policy of isolation, limiting contact with the world to preserve its social structure and internal power. A major turning point occurred in 1853 when the U.S. fleet, commanded by Admiral Matthew Perry, entered Edo Bay and forced Japan to open to trade. This event led to the Meiji Restoration, enabling Japan to rapidly transform from a feudal agricultural state into a modern industrial and military nation. In 1905, its victory over the Russian Empire made Japan the first Asian nation to defeat a European power, shaking the global power order. At the beginning of the 20th century, Japan emerged as the only Asian power capable of directly competing with the West. The Japanese Empire expanded its territory and influence from Korea and Taiwan to Southeast Asia and vast areas of China. However, this expansion left serious consequences for countries in the region. The 1945 famine in Vietnam killed approximately 2 million people. The Comfort Women's System harmed tens of thousands of Korean women. The Nanjing Massacre of 1937 claimed over 300,000 lives. These events remain sensitive topics in East Asian diplomatic relations, directly affecting how countries view Japan's historical role. Faced with these lingering wounds, modern Japan has chosen a confrontational and responsible approach. Since the 1990s, the Japanese government has officially acknowledged its responsibility regarding the Comfort Women's System and issued public apologies. In 1995, the Asian Women's Fund was established, supporting over 300 victims in Korea, the Philippines, and Taiwan, each receiving $15,000 along with an apology from the Prime Minister. Although this fund is controversial in some countries, it is a rare instance of an Asian government establishing a formal compensation mechanism, rather than just diplomatic declarations. In the 1965 Japan-Korea Treaty, Tokyo provided $800 million to support South Korea's economic reconstruction. For Vietnam, Japan has been the largest provider of bilateral ODA for over 3 decades, contributing significantly to infrastructure, transportation, and industrial projects. Many key roads, ports, and industrial zones in Vietnam today were built with this funding, reflecting Japan's choice to heal through long-term cooperation. While not all countries are entirely satisfied, it is undeniable that Japan is one of the few countries willing to openly acknowledge its past and seek to make amends through concrete actions rather than just words. Number 7. Japan under neon lights. In Japan, when the last train leaves the station, a different rhythm of life begins. Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Fukuoka transform with neon lights, vending machine sounds, and music emanating from small roadside cafes. Nighttime isn't just a time for rest. It's seen as a second day, a place where people temporarily escape the pressures of the day to live more slowly and authentically. Whether sipping sake in an izakaya or strolling through lantern-lit alleyways, the Japanese find connection through these intentionally quiet moments. Japan's nightlife is multi-layered and tightly organized. Karaoke, operating 24/7, has become a familiar form of relaxation for office workers. Themed bars, ranging from anime and vintage whiskey to jazz, reflect the unique character of each neighborhood. Shibuya and Roppongi represent a vibrant nightlife with clubs open until dawn and international DJs performing continuously. Meanwhile, Kyoto and Kanazawa maintain traditional no-theater performances, koto music, and light shows. This coexistence between modern entertainment and classical art demonstrates how Japan preserves its identity within its nightlife, rather than separating the past from the present. Walking through Japan at night offers a very different experience than during the day. Brightly lit signs, the sounds of subway trains, and the aroma of grilled yakitori create a distinctive urban landscape. In Kyoto, when the lanterns of the Gion district are lit, encountering a geisha or maiko in a kimono becomes a rare moment, evoking a feeling of being caught between two eras. In Tokyo, neighborhoods like Harajuku, Ikebukuro, and Akihabara remain crowded late into the night, yet order is always maintained. Even in the nighttime entertainment scene, discipline and community spirit are evident, from queuing to maintaining silence on late-night trains. Number 8. How Japan trains its people. Japan is not only known as an economic and technological powerhouse, but also impresses with its world-leading education system. According to the 2023 PISA rankings, Japanese students ranked 3rd globally in mathematics, science, and reading comprehension, surpassing many Western countries such as the UK and the US. In the same year, the World Top 20 rankings also placed Japan among the top 3 education systems, reflecting its consistent and high-quality training. The highlight of Japanese education lies not in early exam success, but in its philosophy of character development. Children aged 6 to 10 are largely free from exam pressure, instead focusing on etiquette, teamwork, and community spirit. Moral education lessons and group activities help students understand that individual achievement must go hand in hand with social responsibility. This approach has contributed to building a disciplined, efficient, and cohesive society. Besides education, Japan is also famous for its nationwide network of vending machines. There are currently over 4 million machines, equivalent to 1 machine for every 30 people, offering a wide range of products from drinks and coffee to snacks, batteries, and umbrellas. Of these, only a very small percentage sell adult-oriented products and are located in discrete areas. According to a 2022 survey, only about 0.3% of vending machines cater to sensitive categories, with the majority serving essential needs. This reflects the high level of management and service in Japanese society. While this may surprise some tourists, Japanese people consider it part of a tightly controlled free market. To protect its national image, the Japanese government has strengthened regulations regarding the placement of vending machines, especially near schools and tourist attractions. Some cities, such as Tokyo and Kyoto, have implemented clean zone standards, requiring vending machines to display content that is appropriate for public spaces. Number 9. Unusual services in Japan. In Japan, there are services that sound like something out of science fiction, yet they operate perfectly legally. This is an ecosystem of emotional replacement services, where people pay to fill the emotional voids of modern life. The most popular is the rent-a-family service. In major cities like Tokyo, Osaka, and Yokohama, many companies provide family actors who play the roles of lovers, spouses, parents, or children on specific occasions such as weddings or parent-teacher meetings. Customers choose from detailed profiles of age, appearance, and personality. Costs can range from a few hundred to several $1,000s, and there are even full-service fake wedding packages with pre-arranged wedding dresses, rings, and guests, all filmed like a real wedding. For those under a lot of stress, stress relief rooms are another option. Here, customers are equipped with protective gear and sticks or hammers to smash old items like TVs, bottles, or printers. The entire experience can be recorded. Prices range from $50 to $120, making this service a popular form of psychological relief among office workers and senior citizens. Those seeking a more relaxed experience can opt for cuddle cafes. Customers pay to sit next to, hold hands with, or lie beside a stranger in a quiet, non-sensitive setting. At $50 to $100 per hour, this service is seen as a way to alleviate loneliness in crowded cities. Some cafes even allow customers to choose their preferred resting position or background music. In addition, Japan offers many other unique services, such as hiring someone to apologize on your behalf, hiring someone to sit with you to alleviate loneliness, or hiring professional mourners at funerals. All operate openly, with clear contracts and are regulated by law. Number 10. Unsolved Mysteries of Japan. Near the Nasu Hot Springs in Tochigi Prefecture lies a mysterious site known to the Japanese as the Killer Rock, or Seisho Seki. The rock stands isolated in a sulfur-rich area, where heat and mild toxic fumes rise year-round. A stone-paved path leads up the hill, marked with warning signs advising against touching the rock. Upon approaching, visitors easily spot the dark rock standing out against the gray-white landscape, creating a scene that is both desolate and eerie. According to legend, Seisho Seki is where the spirit of Tamamo no Mei, a nine-tailed fox who transformed into a beautiful woman to seduce the emperor, was sealed. After being destroyed, her spirit turned into stone, carrying a curse that anyone who touches it will suffer misfortune. Seisho Seki's notoriety spread further in March 2022 when the rock unexpectedly split in two, despite no earthquake or external impact. Geologists suggest the phenomenon may stem from thermal expansion or prolonged rainwater seepage, but the cracks are quite neat and even. Local residents recount that before this, birds and animals in the area suddenly disappeared, adding to the mystery. On social media, many speculate that the spirit of a fox has escaped. Although science has not yet reached a clear conclusion, the Japanese still view Seisho Seki as a symbol of things that need no explanation. More than 300 kilometers from Nasu, in Kyoto, the ancient Zuiho-in Temple, part of the Daitoku-ji complex, presents another mystery. The Zen garden there is designed minimally with white sand and a few rocks, but it puzzles many when observing the shadows. As the light changes, the shadows of the rocks seem to tilt away from the position of the sun. Even at midday, they do not align. Some believe this is an optical illusion caused by light reflecting off the walls and white sand. However, even photographs taken at the same time yield different results. One theory suggests the garden was created in the spirit of Zen Buddhism, where imperfection is beauty. Today, Zuiho-in remains open for visitors to contemplate the delicate boundary between nature, light, and human perception. Number 11. The beauty that makes Japan unique. Fushimi Inari in Kyoto is considered one of Japan's most sacred and iconic shrines. With over 10,000 red torii gates lining the mountainside, it serves as both a pilgrimage site and a unique artistic space. The interconnected torii gates form winding paths through the forest, each gate representing a contribution to good fortune and prosperity. Early morning is considered the ideal time to visit, when the first rays of sunlight filter through the gates, creating a tranquil and magical scene. The approximately 2-hour hike to the summit offers a sense of accomplishment, while also providing a moment of peace amidst nature and the sound of temple bells. Not far from Kyoto, Lake Kawaguchi and Mount Fuji represent the balanced and harmonious beauty of Japanese nature. From the clear lake, the snow-capped peak is clearly reflected on the calm water. In spring, the cherry blossoms bloom, creating a scene of pink, white, and green. Visitors can cycle around the lake, kayak, or soak in the lakeside onsen while admiring the panoramic view of Mount Fuji. To the south, Okinawa offers a completely different picture. Often referred to as the Hawaii of Japan, the archipelago is famous for its turquoise waters and diverse coral reef ecosystem. Beaches like Emerald, Maida, and Ishigaki are consistently ranked among the most beautiful in Asia. Visitors can go snorkeling, swim with tropical fish, or paddleboard as the sun sets. The Ryukyu culture, reflected in its cuisine, architecture, and Isa dance, creates a unique blend of Japanese and Southeast Asian influences. Number 12. Japanese food isn't for everyone. A culinary journey into Japan often begins with sushi, the clearest symbol of the country's culinary philosophy. Sushi doesn't aim to showcase complex techniques, but focuses on respecting the ingredients. The rice is cooked to the precise consistency, mixed with rice vinegar, sugar, and salt in a fixed ratio, then combined with fresh seafood such as tuna, salmon, shrimp, or octopus. When lightly dipped in soy sauce and topped with wasabi, the salty, sour, and spicy flavors are subtly balanced. The Japanese believe that a good piece of sushi must demonstrate the freshness of the ingredients, the harmony of flavors, and the precise hand of the chef. In many traditional restaurants, chefs only make sushi after years of apprenticeship because every small step affects the quality of the dish. In contrast to the elegance of sushi is shirako, a dish that often makes outsiders hesitant. Shirako, meaning white child, is actually the testicles of male fish, most commonly from cod or pufferfish. When steamed, grilled, or lightly fried, the dish has a smooth, creamy texture and a rich, buttery flavor that spreads quickly across the tongue. Shirako is considered highly nutritious, rich in protein and omega-3s. In Japan, it's typically available only during the winter and is considered a limited edition delicacy. But for many Western tourists, enjoying it still requires considerable courage. Ramen represents the soul of Japanese popular cuisine. The broth, simmered for hours from pork bones, chicken bones, or dried fish, combined with chewy noodles, creates a distinctive flavor that varies by region. Hakata ramen is famous for its rich tonkotsu broth. Tokyo ramen has a light and balanced shoyu flavor, while Sapporo ramen is rich in miso. Adding soft-boiled eggs, tender chashu pork, and green onions transforms ramen into a dish that is both familiar and deeply reflects local identity. Many family-run ramen shops have sold only one type of broth for decades, considering it a matter of professional honor. The culinary feast concludes with takoyaki, a street food synonymous with Osaka. Wheat flour dough mixed with dashi broth is baked in a round mold, filled with octopus, red ginger, and green onions. These hot balls are topped with takoyaki sauce, mayonnaise, and sprinkled with dried bonito flakes gently shaken by the heat. Takoyaki is often eaten right on the street, still piping hot, with a lightly crispy outer layer, a soft and moist interior, and an aroma that fills the entire street corner. This dish perfectly reflects the spirit of Japanese cuisine: simple, approachable, yet meticulously prepared. Number 13. A festival preserving the soul of Japanese culture. The New Year in Japan begins with Hanami, a cherry blossom viewing festival with profound spiritual significance. From late March to early April, locations such as Ueno Park in Tokyo, Maruyama in Kyoto, and along the Meguro River are covered in delicate pink blossoms. People spread out picnic blankets, drink sake, and chat under the blossoms. The moment the petals fall is seen as a symbol of impermanence, reminding people to cherish the present. For many companies and families, Hanami is also a rare opportunity to temporarily set aside work and reconnect in an outdoor setting. As summer arrives, Gion Matsuri transforms Kyoto into a festival center throughout July. Elaborately decorated wooden floats, up to 25 meters high, adorned with silk and lanterns, appear throughout the old town. The highlight is the Yamaboko Junko Parade, where hundreds of people in traditional costumes pull floats together to the resounding sound of taiko drums. Originating in the 9th century as a ritual to ward off disease, the Gion Matsuri is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Each neighborhood in Kyoto is responsible for maintaining and operating its own float, reflecting a strong sense of community that has lasted for generations. Also in summer, the Sumida Fireworks Festival lights up the Tokyo sky in late July. This event attracts over 1 million people each year, with thousands of fireworks reflecting off the Sumida River. The Japanese call it the art of the moment, as each display lasts only a few seconds. Many families, dressed in yukata, sit along the riverbank from the afternoon to secure their spots, turning the anticipation into part of the festival experience. When autumn arrives, the Kishiwada Danjiri in Osaka brings a vibrant and tense atmosphere. In September, massive wooden floats, weighing tons, are pulled at high speed through the narrow streets by dozens of young men. A single wrong turn can lead to an accident, but it is this very risk that makes the festival a symbol of courage and teamwork. Participating in the sled pull is considered a great honor for local youth, linked to the honor of the entire neighborhood. When winter blankets Hokkaido with snow, the Sapporo Snow Festival opens up a dazzling world of ice. Hundreds of ice sculptures are displayed in Odori Park, ranging from European castles to anime characters and ancient temples. Many are over 15 meters tall and illuminated throughout the night. Visitors can ski, enjoy hot Sapporo miso noodles, and watch fireworks in the winter sky. The festival not only celebrates the beauty of winter, but also showcases the adaptability and creativity of the people of northern Japan. Number 14. The actual cost in Japan. If you plan to stay in Japan for an extended period for study, work, or vacation, understanding the cost of living is crucial. Tokyo is the country's largest economic center and also one of the most expensive cities in Asia. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $800 to $1,200 per month. However, if you're willing to commute 20 to 30 minutes by train to the suburbs, the cost of living can be almost halved. Cities like Kyoto, Nagoya, and Fukuoka offer a more affordable cost of living, with common rents ranging from $400 to $600 per month, suitable for those who prefer a slower pace of life or work remotely. Japan's public transportation system is highly regarded for its accuracy and convenience. Inner-city train tickets usually cost between $1 and $2.50 per ride, while monthly passes range from $70 to $120 depending on the route. Shinkansen trains are more expensive, but are a popular choice for traveling between cities. Taxis are convenient, but quite expensive, usually $6 to $12 for short distances and with higher fares at night. Therefore, many people choose bicycles for convenience and affordability. Food costs in Japan are quite flexible. If you cook at home, your budget is around $250 to $350 per month when buying groceries at popular supermarkets. A bento box at a convenience store usually costs $3 to $5, while a meal at a ramen shop or budget restaurant ranges from $4 to $7. Mid-range restaurants cost around $10 to $20 per meal. Electricity, water, and gas costs an average of $70 to $100 per month. High-speed internet costs around $30 to $45. Some buildings have additional management or garbage disposal fees of $10 to $30. Japan has strict waste sorting regulations, so foreigners need to pay attention to collection schedules and sorting instructions. The total cost of living for a single person in Japan is typically around $1,000 to $1,500 per month. If living frugally, expenses can drop to around $800. Conversely, if you frequently eat out, travel, or participate in cultural activities, costs can exceed $1,800 per month. Number 15. Risks that few people talk about. Although Japan is often considered one of the safest countries in the world, crowded tourist areas still pose certain risks. Some individuals may pose as friendly locals, inviting tourists to familiar restaurants or bars and then charging unusually high prices. To avoid this, you should check online reviews before entering a place and prioritize establishments with clear information. If you are approached too aggressively, The safest course of action is to politely decline and leave. Regarding personal safety, Japan has a low crime rate but is not absolutely safe. Petty theft, harassment on trains, or nighttime scams can still occur, especially in crowded areas like Shinjuku or Kabukicho in Tokyo, or Dotonbori in Osaka. Tourists should avoid walking alone in dark alleys, keep valuables in zippered bags, and be observant of their surroundings. When paying, note that not all shops in Japan accept international cards. Many small shops only accept cash, and in rare cases, you might encounter counterfeit card machines. The safest option is to withdraw money from ATMs at convenience store chains like 7-Eleven, Lawson, or Family Mart, which support international cards and have good security systems. If possible, use electronic IC cards like Suica or Pasmo for quick payments. Japan's weather changes significantly with the seasons. In spring and autumn, the temperature difference between day and night can be quite large, easily causing visitors to catch a cold. When traveling at night in Kyoto or mountainous areas like Hakone, it's advisable to bring a light jacket and some basic medication. In case of emergency, the emergency number in Japan is 119. However, not all medical facilities have English-speaking staff. Therefore, you should keep the addresses of international clinics handy and install a translation app to assist with communication when needed. And those are 15 interesting facts about Japan. Hopefully, this information has given you a fresh perspective on the land of the rising sun. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to join us on our next exploration journeys. Of these 15 facts, which one impressed you the most? Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.